We're just waiting now as we continue our special coverage of this momentous day for Israel, for the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, for the region and far beyond. This is the day that's been long awaited. Protracted negotiations to bring an end to the Gaza war have now resulted in the first phase of a ceasefire deal being implemented hour after hour. I'm Lise Doucette. We're broadcasting from Jerusalem and from capitals across this region as part of our special coverage of a day of days here in this region, which has known all too many wars. In the last few hours, the U.S. President Donald Trump has arrived in Israel. He will address the Knesset shortly, where he will emphasize again that today marks the end of the war and the beginning of peace in the Middle East. And whether or not that holds true, there is no denying that today is a day of extraordinary significance and extraordinary emotion, a day freighted with history, a day that many feared they would never see. All of the last living hostages, 20 in all, have returned to Israel today. And the remains of the hostages who didn't survive their ordeal, who died in captivity or during the horrific events of October the 7th, 2023, their remains will soon be brought back one by one in the hours to come and in the days as well, as Hamas tries to retrieve their remains. On your screen, you're seeing pictures of the military helicopters in the military base of Reem in southern Israel. As they receive the hostages from the International Committee of the Red Cross from Reem after an emotional reunion with a few members of their families. Of course, the concern now is for the emotional and physical state of the hostages. They'll be taken to, there's been 5 hospitals in Israel, 3 around the coastal city of Tel Aviv, 2 in southern Israel, if necessary, to take the hostages depending on their medical condition. As we've been reporting, the first 7 hostages to be handed back, despite their weakened condition, despite the conditions of their ordeal, they were well enough to walk to the waiting vehicles, the white vehicles with the distinctive Red Cross and the symbolism of the International Committee of the Red Cross. That sent such a huge signal to the people watching in Hostages Square, watching every moment that they have so long waited for, they have called for. There you see on the screen now the dust being kicked up by the rotor blades of the Israeli military helicopters waiting to take the last 13 of the hostages into the hands of their waiting loved ones, into the hands of the medical staff, waiting to give them both the physical and the emotional support that they will need. Let's also bring you an image of the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, where President Trump arrived a short time ago. There it is inside the Knesset. Not all the seats. People are still, you can see, taking photographs, selfies of this major moment. It seems as though that President Trump hasn't arrived yet. We did hear reports that he would be meeting families of the hostages. That meeting may be taking place there in the Israeli parliament. It's a short distance away from where we are broadcasting from this morning and throughout the day. From Jerusalem, all members of the Knesset are certain to give him the warmest of welcomes. Even though President Trump is a president who likes to take credit, in this case, on this day, credit is due. It was his decision to exert what historians say was unprecedented pressure, personal, political, on his most strategic of allies, Israel, and its Prime Minister Netanyahu, to end the war in Gaza in the week which marked 2 years of this grievous war. He is being thanked by the families of the hostages. He will be thanked by the people in the Israeli Knesset. A few members of the parliament are staying away. They don't like this deal. They want the war to go on. They don't believe that what for them is the most important war aim, it is indeed the most important war aim for the Prime Minister, that the Hamas should be destroyed. Hamas has not been destroyed, but it has been weakened, and they too have signed on to this deal. It is the first phase of the deal, but all the same, it's a very important start.